Hello, friends. This is John Klein III of episode 48 of Shadow and Flame of Magic, the podcast. And we are going to review X-Men Volume 6, Issue 25. Probably going to go down as the best comic of the year. So let's get to it. All right. So, loading up the comic. So this is X-Men issue 25. It just came out a week ago, so wasn't planning on doing 3 episodes this week, but don't want to fall too far out of the conversation. So this is written by Jerry Duggan. Artist is Stefano Caselli. Color artist is Marte Garcia. Letter VC Clayton Cowell. Design Tom Muir and Jay Bullen. And the cover artist was Joshua Cassara and Marte Garcia. So let's get back to the top of this comic. So cover is by this is the new Shadow Kate comic costume. She's no longer the Red Queen. She is now going to go by Shadow Cat, but with a K. So I don't know if we're pronouncing it as Shadow Kate, Shadow Cat, or are we going Shadow Kate? I sort of like the idea of Shadow Kate, but as we will get way into it, the cover has her putting 2 swords in a Orcus soldier's head, which isn't just a cool design. As we'll get to this, as This was like a pretty emotional issue for me, to seeing Kate just push to her limit. We get a data page. That's what the X-Men do. They save everybody they can. Kate Pride. The Central Park, and we get Kate, but back in her trainee outfit. So. And like she has the bandage over her nose. This is pretty much like Marauders issue 1 circa, where she's not dressed as the Red Queen yet. So it's pretty fun that we get 3 different costumes of Kate's in this issue. So what a real treat that is. And so she's like, life is complicated. That's all my rabbi has to say. Mutants everywhere can just walk to other worlds through Kakola's gates, but not me. I actually bounced my head off that door and busted my nose. I can walk through anything. And then her priest is, or her rabbi, I'm sorry, says, except that door, darling. Har, yes, my friends, my family have a home, but it's not for me? Yes, I read the news, Kitty. Kota sounds wonderful, and of course I hear your teacher's voice in my head. So did everyone else on Earth. And I can't say I cared for it, but the mutants of the world wish to come together and form a state. It would be the hypocritical of us to stand in the way of that. But, what if I'm not a mutant? What if you're not? What? Would that be so bad? Yes, I'm a mutant. Good, I'm glad. That's settled. I guess it's not that fair of me to think you understand. ... Kitty, I know you've seen a lot of weird stuff up close, so, just to be honest with me, do you still believe in God? And Kate's pretty shocked. Of course, Susan. That's a relief. Otherwise, this was going to be longer and more difficult conversation. You ex-folks have really stirred the pot this week, and I have a few more park benches to warm, but God believes in you. We have to give in to our ride. This is a plan for all of us, regardless of who or what you are deep down in those fancy genes of yours. And look at it this way. If all your super friends could do the same thing, but you can't, well, I think that makes you even more special. And that's just nice. Like, what a nice rabbi this is. And so then we get to present day. And we're back at the X Mansion. Kate has just gone through a portal. Nope. Gone through a gate, as she can use them now. And we see the Xavier Mansion is just in, like, wreckage. Like, no one's used it. There's no one Like we're clearly not using. It's not like Utopia when no, it's not like post Utopia when everyone was either at the Jean Grey school or the new Xavier Weapon X school, where some people were using Utopia. Like this is clearly no one's using it. And Kate looks exhausted. X weeks ago, which now we know X means 10 weeks ago. While you slept, Orcus changed the world. Hours ago, they launched a false flag attack against humanity and laid the blame at the foot of the mutant nation state of Krakoa. The Hellfire Gala served as an important function of the state. Those nights were celebrations of mutant culture and the special friendship the X-Men always try to foster of humanity. And we see Kate's just like going through all the rooms, and there's clearly been people in bigots in the mansion as they spray painted all over the place. At the moment that Kate returned to the Xavier School for the Gifted, an Interpol arrest warrant was being issued for her. As a member of Krakoa's ruling council, she was designated a high-value mutant terrorist. It was an excellent frame job. Catherine Kitty Pryde had gone by many names over the years. Ariel, Sprite, and we see that she's reached her room and is phasing through. And she's whipped out a sword with a little note. Captain Kate Pryde, the Red Queen. She could not use those names ever again. And she apparently, this is Ogun's sword. And he writes, "You will forever be the weapon that made you, Shadow Cat." But this cat is with a K. And I meant to look at my Kitty Pryde and Wolverine hardcover and see if that note appears. But as far as I could tell, I think this note is new. But what a fun way to introduce, like, Kate has some, like, darkness in her, and so now she's going to take the name Ogun gave her. And the spelling of it. And then we cut to, who's the club Sinister? Mr. Stratus. Dr. Stratus. I'm sorry. Dr. Stratus. And he's looking at the Daily Bugle. It says the Mutant Massacre. Hellfire Gala turns deadly. Krakoa blame. It's sunny. High 80 to 85 since 1980. Or no, I'm sorry. I forgot I can zoom in on this. Oh yeah, 1887. It's $1 in New York, and it's $1.50 outside the city. Oh, he even has the real date on it. That shouldn't date the comic at all. But July 27, 2023. So that's fun. Oh yeah, so Dr. Status is just announcing to all the Orcus members about how successful they have and how other schemes are coming together, and Firestar is standing behind him. She puts her hand on the gate to show that, yep, mutants cannot use the gates. They even have all these like flyers and newspapers on the gate because no one's using them. Might as well use them as a wall. We see a reporter right outside as we see two Stark Sentinels floating about. I imagine the reporter is supposed to be Ben Urich, but maybe that's just me thinking any older white man with glasses and a trench coat is a Ben Urich. And then we see how mutants are being treated now by Orcus. We see Wolfer in Chicago is being thrown onto a spaceship as they're going to Mars or Krakoa, or I don't even know why I even try to pronounce. It starts with an A. Well, it's Mars. And then we see in Hollywood, some people are being thrown into tents for gene therapies, which is very troublesome. So that's your two options, I guess, is be captured and thrown off planet or be given treatments. And then we see Captain Coca-Cola, who we still don't know the identity of, but we can see this year's Jordan White gives us a fun editor's note. See this year's Avengers X-Men Free Comic Book Day issue or reprinted as part of Marvel Zero, which is nice. And then we see the villain from the Iron Man issue, Mr. Phylong, and he's talking to the president, who, of course, we don't see the face of, but we see a establishing shot of the White House with two Stark Sentinels on either side of it. And they're talking, and he's also emphasizing how the humans have won, and we're just doing what we can do best to protect humanity, and we're not being cruel to the mutants. We're giving them a home where they want to go. And then we're seeing one of the prison units. Oh yeah, here they stat the Henry Guyuk Center for Behavioral Studies on Randall's Island in New York, and we see Dr. Stratus is there, and he's just having a fun time, gloating, and we see that he's been taunting Scott Summers, who's strapped to a giant metal X made out of adamantium, and Cyclops is like, "Go bleep yourself." And Dr. Stratus, all he wants is for Scott to just cooperate with them. And Scott's never going to cooperate with murdering bigots. Like, the X-Men will, because Scott doesn't know anything. He fell out of a treehouse, and then only things he knows is things that I'm sure is being thrown in his face. Dr. Stratus mocks him. "Oh, no, not the X-Men." He's like, "There are no more X-Men, dolt." Like, Krakoa's empty. They're all scattered. No one's coming back. And then here's where we see the panel where poor Scott's eyes are sewn shut. Which, I guess originally I thought they were just sewn shut with, like, fabric. But they're probably maybe some type of metal. Because I was thinking, like, once Scott has enough and just decides, like, pain's only temporary. As are all bad things. Well, I guess all good things too. But let's think about bad things only being temporary, and how once he rips those threads out, like, these Orchis are going to need a new roof for their prison. And then we see who the current X-Men are. They're in the tunnels of the tunnels, the Morlock tunnels. And then we see the team is Synch and Talon, and Rasputin the fourth, and then Miss Marvel is sticking to the team. And then we see Shadowcat walking in, or phasing through a wall. So that's our 5 people X-Men, as of now anyways. And then Kate says, "I'm back to rest up for a few, and then I'm going back out." And then she just walks right through them. Miss Marvel is wearing a cool New Mutants uniform, which I pretty much like her uniform, but it's just yellow and blue instead of. But no, she has a red cape, so she has her color scheme. And then Sync's like, "Shadowcat, we need to talk. I'm busy." Ugh. Knock knock, and then he phases through the wall too, which is just a fun use of his powers. "I never knew how annoying I was to everyone around me until you started doing my bit." And you see that she has a giant cut on her side, or her right shoulder. "I thought I smelled blood. Can I be of service?" "Yeah, thanks." "None of us are whole these days," as he gives her some a needle and thread. "I thought you should know Miss Marvel is a little afraid of you." "Good. She's not cut out for the X-Men. She should walk away." "Disagree. Did you know Rasputin the Fourth thinks you hate her?" "Her being here is a reminder of my failures on Krakoa and beyond. I did her thing once. Go back and fix the failings of the previous generations. Now I am the failure." "I don't blame anyone but Orchis, and neither should you. Now here's the bad news. You're going to have a scar. If you were," which I'm sure she's not going to have a scar. But, like, poor Terry Moore of Kachu, like, he gave her a scar. Spoilers for, like, late game Strangers of Paradise. But, like, every so often he shows future Kachu, and he has to, like, remember to, like, give her the scar, like, future Kachu a scar. And I think, like, he's even had to go to the point of, like, new releases of older materials, like needs to go back and give her the scar. So just things you gotta do to be like these characters aren't untouchable. But anyways, Scar, I don't believe it. But I don't know. She does have a uniform that shows her shoulders, which one would think now after this she will get shoulder pads. But I don't know. If you were at the top of your game, no one will even be able to touch you. Oh yeah, that's right. This is my favorite panel of the book. I don't even know where Lockheed is, which I sort of like the idea that she's so much in shock that he's having a conversation and she's having a conversation, but they're not with each other. They're just monologuing at each other. Kate, you're fighting sloppy, and if we lose you, we lose not just another mutant, but our best asset and secret weapon. And she shoots him a look like, you don't even know, but we don't even know yet either. I can't use the Krakoan gates when I sync with you. I don't know why. Rasputin the Fourth can't either. Which is a fun way to address, like, oh, if Kate can use them, then anyone with phasing powers? Where it's like, no. It's just a Kate specialty because she's the greatest. Maybe she has a plan. Who, Rasputin? If you go get yourself killed or captured, we suffer a terrible loss. I survive living with a Wolverine longer than anyone, and I know you need your space, and I need you on this team. I need that consensus of mutants. I need that scout of Orcus strongholds. And I'll have them. I'll be careful, and I'll even make our rendezvous later. Well, I should promote SNFWM on Twitter and Instagram. As I'm going to definitely put that image so you would know when you will know when I have uploaded the video or the podcast, because the timestamp will be when I uploaded the panel with the Lockheed reference. The most accurate information the Resistance had on the strengths, weaknesses, and positioning of the enemy was from Shadowcat sneaking through the Krakoan transit system. She was not able to use the gates before Orcus hacked and closed them, but now that she's a ghost in the machine, moving through unseen in the remnants of a mutant empire, there were gates across our solar system and beyond. Humans barely understood their own politics, so you have to forgive them if the finer points of mutant diplomacy are also beyond their grasp. Suffice to say, the colonized world of Mars was not a mutant safe haven for anyone born on Earth. Civil war was raging on the planet, and the warlike Iraqi. Oh, that's the name of Iraqi. Oof. I thought the word was in the later issue, but I was like, I don't know. Did not see the majority of their cousins from Earth as anything other than weak. Forced deportations are a staple of most genocides, and the mutants stranded on Arakko found no comfort, no helping hands from a tribe of mutants who have fought demons for millennia. The mutants deposited on a planet most congregated in its lone spaceport on the Promethean plane in the northern hemisphere. Then you see Warfer is got to Arakko safely, or at least got to the Arakko. And then he sees Kate coming through a gate with her sword. Hi, I saw you come through the gate. How did you do that? Are you here to save us? Shh. I don't know what you think you saw, but you're mistaken. You're from Earth, right? Did you testify before Congress? Kid, you're confused. No, I saw you. Yeah, take a hint. So she throws him against the wall, because he's not taking a hint, and phases a sword through him, which I should say, I was going to make a joke about I'm on record saying it, but I guess I am. I've commented on it enough times, but about how the world at large is super lucky that Kate Pryde and Invisible Woman Sue Richards has never decided to turn bad, because legit those two will just kill every single person. Like the Punisher, Deadpool, they can kill the Marvel Universe, but it would take them like 23 pages to do it. But Sue and Kate will get it done in like 4 pages, and it'd just be dunsies. Like just Kate walking around pulling brains out of people's heads, like she had to do to Wolverine. And what if Wolverine remained a hide agent? a Hydra agent, and though if I remember correctly, she had to lose her hand to do that, and I still don't know why that was the choice, except to make a gruesome image or maybe to leave her permanently scarred over the thing. I bet that's what it is. It's a literature trope, but or technique, but because it's like, yeah, but imagine if Kate could do it invisible, like, yeah, because I guess you pair Sue Richards with anyone, they instantly become a lot deadlier. But since Kate doesn't have a visible power, well, no, I guess it's visible when she's doing it. Her power doesn't have any special signature. There we go. It's like, it's even better of a pairing. Oh, yeah, he's like, oh, God. Say another word before I ask you to speak, and it'll be your last. Compose yourself and answer all my questions, and this word that ghosted into your chest will come out just as easy. Otherwise, things will get messy. I didn't expect to be noticed. I'm just taking stroll, taking a census, looking for those of you who survived the attack. Now, what's your name? Where are you from? I guess that's a good point, too. Like, she can't subtly go through a portal or a gate. Though, looking at the 2 times she's done it, like, it's not like the gate like brightens up when someone uses it. So, but still, like, if someone just turns to the right, they will see her. So it's one of the greatest secrets right now that they have is Kate's not that no one knows that Kate can do this. And Woofer's, I'm Woofer. I'm from Chicago. The X-Men saved my ass, but after whatever happened at the Hellfire Gala, Orchis came back and just dumped us here. They say we have family here, but that's not true. And poor Kate does not have time to be pleasant, especially as she's being bad cop already. But it'd be nice if she was like, hey, Chicago, Mia too. Because that's how Chicagans talk. I know. We've got done dirty, Woofer. I won't lie. Things are going to stay rough for a while. I can't phase anyone through the gates. There's no help coming for a while. And I can help you help everyone here. Every mutant still standing is an X-Man, understand? It is up to us now. I was hoping to find some of my friends, Sunfire, Polaris, and Forge. We need our big guns. You said the X-Men saved you, yes? Now it's time to pay that forward. Be a leader. Keep everyone safe. Help will arrive, but I don't know when. Take this book and have a census of everyone here, names and powers. I'll be back to collect it. And then she gives them a book, but it just looks like a piece of paper. Now cause a distraction. I want eyes on you, not me when I hit the gate. Oh, wow, I'm an X-Man? Okay. And then there's a big brute of a guy. And Woofer just turns immediately and, like, shoves his hand on his like, left pec. Don't you try to steal from me. And he's just like... And it works, though. He's just mad at him, staring at Woofer. Kate goes through the portal. X weeks ago, which we know means 10 weeks ago, Forge had been having a drink and getting ready to unveil versions of the X-Men's treehouse as a gift to humanity to end homelessness. The next moment, he was coerced through a Crowan gate and ended up on a distant world with no way home. So now we know at least Forge is alive, and also confirmation that not every mutant who went through a gate died or became a prisoner of some other location. Which we know that Realm of X is Magic and Danny's book. And I want to say 2 other mutants were announced for it too that people were excited about. Oh, Typhoid Mary and... Oh, Dusk as well. So that's pretty cool. No, not Dusk. Dust. Gotta hit those T's. And so Forge has realized that he cannot use a gate, as well as that means the children of the vault are now... Well, not in the vault no more. The jungles of Ecuador. Forge had used Krakoan technology to seal off the murderous children of the vault. The X-Men's problems were multiplying by the hour. And then Jordan White gives us the editor note. Check out Children of the Vault #1. X weeks ago, or 10 weeks, Forge wasn't the only one, and I'm sure they just mean random weeks ago. wasn't the only one having a terrible night. The fallout from the mutant massacre was just beginning for newly discovered mutant Kamala Khan. She was escorted home by the White Queen, who was hiding in plain sight as Hazel Kendall, the personal assistant to Tony Stark. Which was a data page in the Hellfire Gala where I was like, Hazel Kendall, who knows, like, what's that name about? But now we know. Like, that data page was just from the future. And so Hazel is wearing an outfit very akin to when she first met Kitty back in 129. Brunette hair, brown outfit, brown boots, which must be just killing her. Kamala's very sad about how everyone thinks she's dead. The whole world, the world believes Kamala's dead. The world believes Ms. Marvel died. They both died publicly. But I guess no one wrote an article saying Kamala Khan equals Ms. Marvel. And then with just a dialogue balloon, Hazel fixes everything. Oh, and she's apparently wearing a ring that prevents her from using her power so that Sentinels don't pick up her mutant signature. And so she mind wipes everyone, I guess, in New York, probably. And so her family just thinks she was in Washington, D.C. for a field trip. And she references how Kingpin's been helping her out. Kamala's super proud, thankful that she doesn't have to ruin, shock her family with her reappearance. And so then Hazel leaves her so that Kamala can reunite. So now we're in the present. Now, down in the Morlock tunnels. And Hazel is with them, but her skirt's not just or I guess maybe it's a dress because it goes all the way down to her ankles. But she has a high slit on her thigh, so, you can take a cheetah out of the jungle. And so they're talking about how Ms. Marvel wants to help the mutants. And so she's part of the team. The mutants have fallen before, and perhaps if they lived, they would fall again. But they were not alone this time. Steve Rogers reformed the Unity Squad of Avengers, and the roster skewed heavily with the X-Men, as it should. Old man Rogers knows the value of symbolism and optics. And so we're shown the team of Cap, Deadpool, Psylocke, and Iron Man? Or I guess it's Tony Stark out of the outfit, maybe? But no Rogue, though, huh? The meetings never last too long and are always in a different part of the subterranean Manhattan. The X-Men and the Avengers routinely share strategy, compare notes, and give each other hope. Even Tony Stark's mood is improved by the Resistance meetings. Oh yeah, so that was Tony. His heart was turned to lead by watching helplessly as his Iron Man tech was assimilated into the mutant hunting Sentinels. Tonight it was the former Queen with the Hellfire who was despondent. And so Hazel says, I don't know why, but on Twitter, whenever I want to talk about Emma, I just call her Hazel now to further help her disguise. Catherine, a word please. ... Don't you think it's time to tell me what happened? What happened? The world ended, and maybe we helped give it a push. And you just see Kate is like million-yard stare. Don't say that. It's not true. But it's exactly what your abusers would very much like you to believe. What happened to you after you fell through the gate? And then we begin the saddest sequence. And so we see, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 Orchis members. And they're just standing guard, talking about how, gates are locked. Now, I'm saying we see the very fun moment where Kate falls back on her back. What's happening? Oof. And we see her land on her butt again. Funny fun. What the hell is this? Ugh. You fellas aren't going to behave, are you? Jerusalem Station Central Column confirmed the muty gates are closed. Everyone just chill out for a second. Confirmed. Jerusalem Station mutant transit is kaput. Even we can't use them anymore. So the gates are all shut down. Even Orcus can't use them. And then Kate. Oh no! So I guess she showed up right when one guy announced that the gate was closed, which is weird as he would have just saw her walk through it, but maybe he was mid-sentence. And then she immediately puts her hand through that guy's walkie-talkie with a buzz, and then touches another guy's chest belt, or strap, I guess is what you call it. Nobody move. So undoing whatever mechanisms there. I killed that radio. I don't want to kill any of you. You started a war that you won't win. Surrender. I'll make sure you're treated well. Not like you treated us tonight. This is your last chance. Surrender. And she looks fierce here. What do you say, boys? Should we surrender? And they all just start laughing. I'll tell Central Column that you resisted arrest. You're a high-value target. On the Quiet Council, you were trained by Xavier, and you're already going out like a bitch, begging. You're worried about the wrong teacher. When you get to hell, tell Ogun I said hello. And then, I thought she looked fierce before, but this is a great panel. She's really going to make us do this, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, it's 10. And so they all surround her in a circle. And she just immediately, oh yeah, so someone shoots her with a gun. It goes right through her head. The first one died whistling, but only because he was trying to breathe through a shattered windpipe. As she just like puts her fist through the guy's neck. Well, not through, because she shattered his windpipe. Krakoa was a land of laws. The first was murder no man. And then she literally phases a gun into that guy's brain and then unphases it. Which is something like, well, I was about to say Age of Apocalypse, Nightcrawler, like, teleported people's heads off. Something Kurt has yet to ever do. But, like, we rarely even see alternate prides do this, but here we are, like the legit 616 Kate Pride doing this. Guess that one's coming off the books. The aggressor sets the tone in any conflict, and overnight Orcus turned a Cold War hot. Pride's training took over, and like one guy tries to tackle her, he phases right through. She knew her sudden ability to access the Krakoan transit system represented a huge tactical advantage. It was a secret worth killing to protect. No, oomph. And she like crushes a guy's head into the ground. In the days that followed, she wondered what she would have done if they had surrendered. Where could she have taken them? She didn't know it then, but Krakoa was ringed by sentinels. And another guy tries running at her, and she just like sidesteps him and then like grabs him by his back shirt and like tosses him to another guy. Her land stolen. Her people once more pushed to the brink of extinction. And he just like collapses into the guy. As you know, it looks like he phases into him, but I don't know how that works if she wasn't maintaining contact with him. But those two are definitely dunzos. As the adrenaline surged, she suddenly remembered that Jean and Bobby and so many more were killed. She was trained by the ninja Ogun, and then she just like, what's the cool way of saying get kicked in the nuts? Like rush combo to an older gentleman with a thwack. But what she did that night in Jerusalem was made possible by learning from her friend, who happened to be the best at what he did, and what he did wasn't very nice. So then she crushes that guy's nuts, and then she phases to the ground, and then she phases him into the ground as well. Oh God, stay calm, stay back to back. She had to hold her breath, I think. We can use that. To kill me? Look at me in the eyes. You're never going to hurt anyone again. And so they start blasting. She could barely hear the gunfire over all the screaming. Like Logan, she didn't enjoy doing what needed to be done. and we've ceased being able to look at her eyes. Like, her face is very heavily inked, but the frown lines are on her forehead. She's not messing around anymore. She just wanted it to be over, and she grabs 2 grenades, knocks the clip off, and then puts them both into their chests as quickly as possible for them and for her and for them, and then they just explode, and we're down to 3 people now. Center column, this is Jerusalem. We have a problem. The one farthest from her remembered the only thing he had that could hurt her, his radio. So she phases through the other 2 guys. So he needed to be next to go. Kate wasn't sure where the radio was in those suits. She silenced him by phasing his suit into his neck and leaving it stuffed in his voice box. And then she turns around to attack the second to last guy. And just straight arm through that guy's chest. Which I guess we can imagine. It looks like it was a force. Like, she legit put her fist through the guy's chest. And once again, not phasing, just legit human hand through bone and muscle. Wait! The X-Men saved me when I was on the Bloom. I was sucked out into space and they saved me. Which is curious because Wolfer also said that the X-Men saved him, but he was willing to help out. Yes, that's what the X-Men do. They save everyone they can, even their enemies. A shame. And then we finally see Kate's eyes, and you just see that she's just crying. And her cheeks are even puffy because of all the tears. Those X-Men are dead now. And then just legit breaks this guy's neck. Crack. Come the dawn in Jerusalem, the Red Queen was dead. Kate wept until she felt nothing, and in early light of the new day, she hid the grisly evidence by phasing the 10 corpse into the roof. Which would be the part of the roof, like, right below the surface of the roof, but above the ceiling. It's like that good 2 feet of material. The Kate Pride ran to the first home she felt truly safe in, the giant one in the somehow still felt crowded on Grey Monken Lane. She retrieved her swords and Shadow Kate was reborn. That was X weeks ago. Nothing happened. Catherine, please, if I have to call you Hazel, then let's leave all the old names on the funeral pyre. Now, if we're done with the hand-holding, I have a war to go win. Yes, but let's coordinate our efforts with Sync and Talon. Where are you off to now? I don't need any help. I'm going to kill Firestar. Fall of X. X-Men 25 from the shadows. And then there's a weird page here saying Magneto can no longer use this gate. Thanks, Orcus. Where it's like, with all the mutants to use, why use a dead mutant? I'm going to write one at that. So the checklist is X-Men 25, Astonishing X-Men 1, Children of the Vault 1, Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance Alpha 1, Immortal X-Men 14, Alpha Flight 1, Dark X-Men 1, Ghost Rider 17, Uncanny Avengers 1, and X-Men Red 14. And that, everyone, was X-Men Volume 6, Issue 25. So thank you so much for listening. You can follow the blog at shadowandflamewithmagic.com. You can follow the blog on Instagram and Twitter at SNFWM. You can follow me on Twitter and YouTube at Jackal SIII. And hopefully all things go accordingly. On Thursday, I'm going to record the episode for the Inferno event we're doing, Exterminators Issue 1. So I'm excited to do that. 3 episodes this week. So that's what people have demanded. And then we just do the 2, go back to 2, unless we see another movie. But I think my wife was commenting just about my lovely wife, was talking about how there wasn't any movies we were expecting to see in the theater. Lots of movies we were curious about, but none of them, $50 worth. Um, but we keep I don't know, but now we're seeing all these commercials for Blue Beetle where I'm like, well, that might be fun to watch in the theater, but if we watch it on HBO Max, then so be it. Um, so I will talk to you next time. Thanks again for listening. Oh, and if you would subscribe on whatever platform you listen to our podcast on, and give a 5-star rating and a review, that really helps the channel grow. And then, you know what? Maybe just even tell a friend to listen. That'd be nice. All right, everyone. Talk to you next time. All right, bye.